The late April dust covered the Brown estate. The pines that surrounded Coyote Pass watched, weathered, and waited like quiet sentinels. A graveyard of promises has replaced what had once been envisioned as a beacon of multiple peace. Driveways are empty, doors that are hollow. No kids' giggles reverberating through communal yards. Only the sun and wind and the immensity of a place that no longer felt familiar. With his boots planted in the earth, he had declared sacred and his arms folded. Kody Brown stood on the edge of the land. His face was covered in deep shadows from the low sun. His once golden hair were now flecked with gray, and years of growing remorse had sapped his vigor. In front of him, this place, this dream, was falling apart, and he had no one left to blame for the first time in years. His family had always been a big part of his vision. A housing cul-de-sac, holidays that are shared, a single God and a unified celestial family. However, the reality had been considerably less divine, characterized by slow, raging abandonment, financial dishonesty, partiality, and broken communication. He turned to face the houses again. Robyns was still standing tall and well-groomed, with a nice glow from the porch light. However, it no longer stood for solace. Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It stood for guilt, sanctuary that was obtained at the expense of all others. Robyn was sitting stooped over the kitchen table in that house, her mouth drawn into a thin line, her elbows burrowing into a jumble of papers. She had tucked her once lustrous brunette curls into a weary bun. She had sunken, red-rimmed eyes, which were normally wide with studied vulnerability. Anxiety permeated the air in the house. She had ceased her filming, stopped grinning for the internet. Quit acting like that. Documents that Kody had asked her to co-sign years prior were on the table. Mortgage modifications, consolidations of equity, reallocations of family trusts. At the time, she hadn't read them. She had put her trust in him. She had faith in him. And now, she wasn't sure whether she knew him at all anymore. On the day they signed the family property agreement, she removed a picture from the wall. Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Kody, all grinning, arms clasped together. That image brought the dream to life. Christine was gone now. Janelle and Meri were not on good terms. Robyn was left alone in a place that felt less like a home and more like a cemetery. She reached for her phone, her hands shaking. All day long, her text to Kody had remained unread. Once more, he was out, far away, dispersed, avoidant. She sent him a single text. Meri, meanwhile, was standing in the kitchen at Lizzie's Heritage Inn in Parowan, Utah. Looking into a pot of simmering soup, it was reassuringly silent. The fire's warmth was grounding. She battled for this property with her willpower and constructed it with her hands. The house wasn't shared. It wasn't a concession. A reclamation took place. On the counter, her phone buzzed. Robyn sent a message. "Would you mind talking?" "Only the two of us." Meri gazed for a while at the TV. She kept her thumb on the reply button. Robyn had watched in silence for years as Kody destroyed Meri's identity and threw her away like useless baggage. Wide-eyed and expressionless, she had seen it all without once stepping in. She wanted to talk now. With a deep exhale, Meri typed a single reply. "Tomorrow at 11 a.m. I will drive up." A little fog enveloped Flagstaff the following morning. Meri arrived at Robyn's driveway at 11:02 a.m. Her SUV was neat and spotless. Her expression was determined. With her hair pulled back, she wore boots and a denim jacket. Nothing fancy, not a pageant. Just a woman who had at last realized that voice, not silence, was what she needed to survive. Sweeting, Robyn answered the door. She rounded her shoulders in embarrassment and clutched her hands in front of her. As Meri walked in, she remained silent. There was a sea of tension between them as they sat across from one another at the dinner table. Robyn said, her voice almost audible above a whisper, "I didn't call to rehash old wounds. I called because now I understand. what I had not previously noticed. Meri folded her arms. You witnessed it. Simply put, you did nothing. Robyn winced. Slowly, she nodded. I considered. I believed that if I maintained Kody's stability, everything else would fall into place. That if someone hung onto him, it would benefit everyone. Meri remarked, you didn't hold on to him. You made it possible for him. Quiet. Tears followed. I was unsure about what to do. When he was with me, he was gentle and compassionate. But he was cold with you and Janelle. That wasn't my business, I told myself. That you and him were involved. Meri remarked, the instant you allowed him to take everything away from us, it became your business. You weren't merely the object of his favor. It was advantageous to you. Robyn cast her gaze downward. Yes, I did. That admission weighed severely on both of them. I apologize, Meri. I apologize for not standing up for you, for failing to recognize the distinction between being picked for convenience and being loved. Meri reclined. It's too late to say sorry. However, there is still time for the truth. Kody went back to Robyn's house that evening. He discovered her seated on the living room floor, gazing at the same papers she had spent days going through. She stated Meri was present. Kody tightened his jaw. You promised me you wouldn't. I had to. She interrupted. And I have another item to tell you. I've had enough of supporting your illusions. He took a step back. What are you discussing? She remarked, slowly getting to her feet. You've destroyed everything you touched. You took advantage of us. You defended your ego by using the concept of family. You transformed emotional tyranny into spiritual leadership. Kody's voice lifted. My wife is you. Together, we built everything. It was you who gave the dream credence. Robyn remarked, I had faith in our dream. Not your fantasy in which you feel important at the expense of everyone else. Breathless, he gazed at her. The room whirled. Then, in a devastatingly quiet voice, she said, I believe you ought to go. Meri went back to Perowin and filled the inn to overflowing. First Wife, A Story of Silence and Strength was the tentative title of the memoir she started writing. Janelle completed the necessary paperwork to buy her own modest house. No joint mortgages, no co-signers. The deed only had her name. The kids saw the transformation, but Robyn remained in Flagstaff. Her smile diminished. She probed further. She began going to treatment. Kody? He disappeared. Online reports circulated about sightings in Nevada, debts, canceled projects, and unanswered producer calls. Production was secretly stopped by TLC. Sister Wives' legacy faded into obscurity. And the ladies he had covenantally bound in the past? They were doing well. Not lonely, but alone, no longer mute, but separated. Free.A&D, there's more. Star of Sister Wives, does Christine Brown regret selling her Coyote Pass rights for $10 now that the land has sold for $1.5 million? That financial choice was taken by 53-year-old Christine at a trying period. She had recently divorced Kody, and the COVID-19 pandemic was still going strong. She relinquished her land rights since she was keen to get as far away from him as possible. The family purchased the farm to house Kody's 4 wives and 18 children. 3 of Kody's 4 spouses had divorced by the time Sister Spouses Season 19 debuted, and he was hardly communicating with many of his kids. Large property in Arizona was the last thing the Browns needed. They made a large profit when they recently sold the land, but Christine forfeited her rights years ago, so she would not receive any of the money. On the property in Coyote Pass, Kody and his 4 wives intended to construct 4 distinct houses, with the possibility of additional residences being built by their offspring in the future. Unfortunately, before construction ever started, the Brown family disintegrated. In an early Sister Wives Season 19 episode, Kody bemoaned the death of his Camelot fantasies as he gazed around at the deserted land. The Coyote Pass property came to represent the breakup of the Brown family. The first of Kody's wives to leave the marriage was Christine. After 27 years of marriage and 6 children, The Sister Wives star departed in 2021. Christine consented to sell her portion of the land to Kody for $10 because she didn't want to interact with him. She received all of the proceeds from the sale of her house, which the entire family bought in exchange. Given the subsequent sale of the Coyote Pass property, it no longer appears to be as good of a deal as it did at the time. The Sun claims that the Browns purchased the home in 2018 for $820,000 and sold it to a new bidder for $1.5 million. Robyn Brown, Meri Brown, and Janelle Brown will share the income with Kody. Although Christine Brown will not receive any of the money, the Sister Wives Season 19 star is likely satisfied with the outcome, and Christine, for nearly 20 years. After Robyn entered the picture, everything went south. The demise of the Brown family was caused by Kody's blatant preference for Robyn, his youngest wife by 10 years, above the other spouses. The COVID-19 pandemic was the last straw for Christine, who divorced Kody in 2021 after it revealed and intensified Kody's partiality for Robyn. In the ensuing years, Janelle and Meri separated from Kody, following Christine's example, leaving Robyn and Kody monogamous. I've always thought Robyn is problematic, contradictory, and victim complex, and Sister Wives fans have never been fond of her. In any event, I believe Robyn will have a redemption narrative in her next show cut, though I'm not sure how beneficial that will be. I think Robyn and Sister Wives always pretended to want to be in a poly family. Robyn, who is not polygamous herself, has made multiple attempts to change her past to gain sympathy, which has irritated me and my fans because we are aware of the truth. Furthermore, the main reason I know Robyn has always been a villain is because she constantly complains and cries, and seems to believe that bad things are happening to her. She is also unable to see past her personal reality with Kody and how their relationship has impacted the Brown family. I have observed that Robyn's show edits have been moving in a more positive direction, even though Sister Wives fans have been reacting negatively to her. In her interviews and featured moments, Robyn expresses her wish to bring the family together and assist Kody in re-establishing contact with his children, an essential and altruistic strategy. Robyn seems truly upset by the family's breakup, and since then, she has had fewer opportunities to engage in unfavorable social interactions. As Robyn attempts to break free from her villain edit, I anticipate this trend of her voice becoming more accessible and resonant becoming the standard. Robyn may keep pushing Kody to mend his connections in Sister Wives Season 20 while highlighting her strengths as a mother, wife, and religious person. However, I don't believe that Sister Wives fans will ever support Robyn at this point. I believe the damage has already been done, even if she receives changes that improve her logic and appeal. Fans react to Robyn, and since she has a solid reputation, I don't think a redemption storyline is helpful, but she can still attempt. Given the shifting dynamics of the Brown family, the program can consider taking an intriguing new turn by altering Robyn's story and attempting to change her perception in a more positive way. Since the show's debut in 2010, I have been a viewer of Sister Wives. I have never been compelled to purchase a piece of jewelry from the Browns collection, which is appropriately named my Sister Wives Closet. Most of those accessories were probably cursed anyhow, and Kody Brown didn't exactly appear to know how to express true love. However, some admirers thought the concept was outdated. What is the current state of my Sister Wives Closet in 2025 then? What we know is as follows. Robyn Brown led my Sister Wives Closet, which surprised no one. She observed Meri Brown and Janelle Brown working outside the house. Furthermore, Christine Brown was happy to raise the kids. It became clear to Robyn that she needed a creative outlet while she was in Las Vegas. The jewelry in the line was bulky and felt antiquated. Consider the Hot Topic fairy necklace from the 2000s. The line was a huge hit on the previous seasons of Sister Wives, but it was a complete failure. It wasn't successful. Janelle said in an interview with Kate Casey on Reality Life, "We most likely didn't know how to manage a company as a family, in my opinion. In hindsight, It most likely ought to have been more of an individual matter. Janelle was disregarded in the early seasons despite having strong views on why the family shouldn't put money into the jewelry company. I've been so removed from the business that I have no idea. She continued, adding that she was the least interested person in the conversation. Meri revealed on the most recent episode that she continues to receive emails about my sister wife's closet. The messages aren't exactly providing encouraging feedback, though. The single mother mentioned that she just got a mail from a customer who ordered a jewelry despite never receiving it. Someone had contacted me about my sister wife's closet order that he had placed on the website but hadn't received and is now either trying to get his refund or get his item. Meri said to the cameras. Meri said that she hoped Robyn would get back to the client shortly after taking a screenshot and forwarding the email. The same consumer had sent this email twice without a response. Robyn revealed in her confessional that she began the business more than a decade ago, selling only small items. However, stating that it's kind of on pause right now, she placed the company on hold. Robyn admitted that she and Meri frequently receive alerts about possible orders. The mother of 5 brushed off the problems when producers questioned Robyn about the website's continued existence. The cart is not disabled, and sometimes people sneak an order in, she said to the cameras. Viewers were not pleased with the comment and immediately asked how she could get an order and if she had shut down her business. Robyn appears to be the cause of the whole mess, but she won't accept responsibility. She should stop taking orders if she doesn't want the store to be open. It's strange that she believes blaming the client is acceptable. The jewelry line's website, My Sister Wife's Closet, is still very much up and running. Robyn, Meri, Christine, Janelle, and Kody launched the online shop, according to the blurb at the top of the page, which also features a photo of the 4 of them. We have always dreamed of creating and designing high-quality American-made products that the average woman would use and cherish, but add our own personal touch while promoting femininity, strength, and family. The blog states, the website was last updated in January 2019. Nevertheless, when the dog tag necklace was added to celebrate Robyn's bond with Mike Kelty Brown. Since then, the two have fallen out. My Sister Wife's Closet isn't your one-stop shop if you're looking for a lovely piece of jewelry for Mother's Day. I would advise you to keep searching. Forgiveness has always come easily to Meri Brown. As she made every effort to regain her place in Kody Brown's favor, she let him use her as a pawn for years. Unfortunately, Robyn Brown kept his feelings in check, so Meri was frequently ignored. Robyn first joined the family and became friends with Kody's first wife, but as the seasons progressed, it became evident that their connection was one-sided. Meri's eyes have finally been opened to Robyn's deception as Sister Wives Season 19 progresses. Meri called Robyn out for her mistreatment in the second Season 19 opener. The Sister Wives star finally revealed her relationship with Kody's favorite wife while speaking with her best friend Jen. Everything altered during COVID and under Kody's regulations. Meri, however, asserted that despite following all the guidelines, she was still rejected. Regarding having a playground in her backyard and hoping to host the kids, Meri said, I was really looking forward to it. And that was extremely uncommon before to the onset of COVID. I had a large outdoor area. I took every safety measure. However, Robyn told cameras, I had 5 kids at home all the time, so it was all about survival. We were studying online. Additionally, she began to travel after the first year or so. As a result, we had a lot of trouble organizing our schedules. However, I am aware that we both wished we could have spent more time together. I had this bond with her, Meri told her buddy, revealing that her epiphany has plagued her ever since. The thought that now crosses my mind is, why do you say that you want to be in a relationship with me and then ignore me for months on end? The fact that Meri's friendship with Robyn and Kody ended is obviously haunting her. Why do I not get to come over to your house and see your kids when COVID is happening and I'm following all the rules? She continued. Why do you not wish to visit my house so that the children can play in the yard? Robyn had a different perspective on the matter and said it clearly in her own confessional. Even when people were conspiring against Meri and ignoring her, I always had her back, she added. And aside from when she moved, I never felt divided. Things changed at that point. After that, she made a shift. Sister Wives viewers saw Robyn take advantage of her bond with Meri for years. In order for Kody to legally adopt her children, the mother of 5 requested that Meri file for divorce. At one point, Robyn also offered to be Meri's surrogate. They never seemed to be truly pals. Meri seemed to be attempting to fit in with the 4th and favorite wife in the hopes that Kody would take notice. It's not a true friendship. Meri made it apparent during her appearance on the Tamron Hall program that she is no longer Robyn's or any of the other ex-wives' sister wife. The single mother also provided an update on her and Kody's relationship. Meri claims that their friendship is going well and that the two don't talk unless absolutely necessary. She is sad because their divorce isn't amicable like she thought it would be. But from a man who enjoys playing the victim, what did she expect? Robyn has acknowledged that Meri's departure has also hurt her. I reached out to Meri shortly after she moved, and I said, "The next time you're in town, let's hang out. Let's go do something," she stated in the most recent episode. "I don't know how to be friends with my ex-husband's wife," she remarked bluntly, and I found that to be incredibly difficult. Meri recalled, "At that point, I did not know how to be a friend with my ex-husband's wife, but he was prepared to work hard, and I believe that before we did that, we would need to have a lot of discussions." However, she ultimately lacked sufficient faith in Robyn. "I don't think she would be completely honest with me, and I don't think she would be very happy with the things I would say to her," she wrote. Let us know in your comments, and stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks, everyone.